No. Toy Story 5 dropped last weekend and is a continuation of the beloved Toy Story universe. Many people still think that the Toy Story movie should have stopped after the third, with them claiming that Toy Story 3 wrapped everything up beautifully, with a bow on top. Then with the release of Toy Story 4, many felt that that movie really didn't need to be made, with it not offering much to the series in terms of substance, claiming that Toy Story 4 brings nothing worthwhile, with it being a boring adventure with nothing all too memorable going on in it to warrant a revival of the movies. And I happen to be on that same opinion. Now with Toy Story 5 releasing, I still hold the opinion that there's no need for these movies. Toy Story 5 is the weakest in the franchise so far, with it offering really nothing worth of note. Toy Story 5 follows Jessie as the prominent character this time, instead of Woody. She's on a mission to get Bonnie some friends, but all the kids nowadays are on electronic devices, in this case, a lily pad. So her parents buy her one so that she could fit in with the rest of the kids. All goes awry as that pad causes more trouble than good. At this point, I feel like we're just beating a dead horse with these movies. After every movie, we've seen it all before. How many times can you go to the toy chest before the toys start to wear out? Toy Story 5 doesn't explore anything all that new. The main story was nice enough, but nothing warranting a film adaptation, with the plot also being scattered as we follow multiple characters such as Buzz and Woody, Jessie as the main character, and for the first time in the series, Bonnie, the toy's actual kid, is a prominent character in the movie. That is a nice change of pace as we really didn't get any of Andy's stories in the original movies, so Bonnie having a role is a solid enough change that we haven't seen before in these movies. Something else we haven't seen before is a new main character with Jessie. She has some moments during the movie that make her a fun character, but she would just never live up to the GOAT that is Woody. Speaking of Woody, there is no point in him being in this movie. He's just here because why not? Woody's entire character arc has been completed in Toy Story 4, and this movie doesn't add anything to it. He left this film the same man as he walked into it, a cowboy stripper. Woody and Buzz are partners again, bringing back something from the first movie, but the chemistry is nowhere near as good as how it was in the first movie. They fight about who's the leader, since Buzz has been promoted ever since Woody left the group. He's the new big sheriff in town. Woody still wants to take control as he's still not adapted to being the main character. Woody and Buzz more like boner and slightly intoxicated. I was thinking of that the entire time watching the movie. If you take Woody away from this movie, nothing would have happened at all to the plot. Literally nothing. Which sucks, as I'd say that Woody is one of the best characters in Toy Story. Hell, he's my favorite character in the series. His character arc is just complete. He doesn't add a single thing. Why didn't they just add a little bit that shows us what he's been doing during his time away? We do see a little snippet of it with him helping other toys with Bo Peep and the Key and Peele plushies, who didn't have any speaking roles as I'm sure they didn't want to pay them anything. I would have liked to know how he was doing since being gone from the group. Is he liking it? Is there trouble? Something besides just one scene where he gets a call and shows up like a homie from San Andreas in the next scene. I guess even the last movie's ending didn't matter because it sort of seemed like we were officially done with Woody and we'll never see him again. I would have preferred if we just never saw him again. It would have given Toy Story 4 some significance, because as it is now, Woody is just nothing in this movie. Oh wait, he does have one thing. He's bald. So that's something. It's brought up in most of the movie. Couldn't he just get that spray from the old guy from Toy Story 2 to freshen up his dome? This same issue goes for all the side characters as well. Ham, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, Rex, all of these side characters do nothing. They do the exact same thing that they did to them in Toy Story 4. The entire crew are just literal background characters at this point. They have maybe one or two speaking lines, nothing funny or witty like they used to have. Just something to get the fans to remember that they're all still alive and that they didn't just convert into actual toys. They haven't played a significant role since Toy Story 3, 16 years ago. Imagine that. Each movie from the original trilogy had them do at least one significant thing. In the first, they played a role in whether or not allowing Woody to return after he cold-bloodedly planned to kill Buzz. In the second movie, the crew came along with Buzz to save Woody from the toy collector, helping along the way. Then in Toy Story 3, everyone helped to break each other out of Tony Soprano's prison. Toy Story 4 is where they just decided to tag along on a road trip and enjoy the view. I don't even know how they managed, but they gave them even less of a meaningful role in this fifth movie. I watched the movie a day ago and I swear I don't even remember seeing them. They were certainly there, but they must have pulled a Drax and stayed entirely still, naked to the human eye.
I've mastered the ability of standing so incredibly still that I've become invisible to the eye.
This is a Toy Story movie. Can we at least get all the toys to do something besides just stand there? As they are now, they are entirely pointless, which is disappointing as there were some great characters, especially in the first movie where everyone was just an asshole to each other.
What are you looking at, you hockey puck?
quickly, dropping a like and subscribing would mean a lot to this growing channel. Thanks. There isn't any memorable or funny lines in this movie. It was just scene after scene of nothingness, really. The new characters they introduced were meh. I'm not gonna consider them all-star characters from the Toy Story universe. They were just plain fine. At least they weren't as annoying as the Key and Peele plushies were in the fourth movie, considering that those guys made that movie sort of insufferable. I didn't know that the shitting toy was played by Conan O'Brien. He had a completely different voice where I couldn't recognize it. That was a fun piece of trivia I learned. A whole new technological buzz army was introduced in this movie. They played really no other purpose other than to be an unmanned drone. I thought that they would have given them a grand revelation or something, like they're searching for the original Buzz to help them because they're dying or to find the meaning of toy life or something. But no, they're just wandering around trying to find Space Command. They then take Woody hostage and Buzz tricks them into joining their team. I thought that they were going to do more or have more of an impact in the story. I guess not. The core theme and message for Toy Story 5 is technology versus toys, and that it's okay to be yourself to find the right friends. It just feels like we've been doing this watch out for technology as it rots your brain thing for a while now. Like there was tech when Toy Story 3 released and we're just now tackling it. I guess it would be 2010 in the Toy Story universe, but still, it's not 2010 in our universe, no matter how much we want it to be. I suppose if there was one movie to tackle it, it would have to be this movie. The whole world has changed since the first Toy Story was released, and most kids don't even play with toys anymore. They'd rather hop on Fortnite to play as fucking Peter Griffin.
Holy crap, I'm in Fortnite!
Lilypad, the villain for the movie, wasn't even a villain really. She didn't do anything all too bad besides being a dick to the toys, calling them old. But she genuinely did look out for Bonnie. She realized that she was causing her more harm than good, so she puts herself on a truck and runs away. With her not even really being a villain, there's really no stakes for the toys. Nothing bad is gonna happen to them, such as getting cooked alive in an incinerator.
That's a clean burning hell, I tell you what.
The main stakes of Toy Story 5 come from Bonnie, whether or not she's willing to just give all her toys up because the other iPad kids are saying that playing with toys are lame now. So she wants to fit in and say that she doesn't play with toys to the other girl, Blaze, a potential friend to Bonnie. After hanging out with Blaze, Jessie sees that she could be a good friend to Bonnie. So the real risk of the movie is if Bonnie can change her way of thinking in time in order for her to play with a potential new friend in Blaze, with Bonnie eventually coming to her senses and asking her to play. It was a cute ending, but probably the worst ending in the movies so far. Buzz and Jessie get married and live happily ever after. Well, until the sixth movie where Buzz cheats on her with Mrs. Potato Head and has to deal with the divorce. Toy Story 5 overall just adds nothing to the series, the ending especially, because in the last two movies, those endings switched everything up. In Toy Story 3, Andy gave up all his toys to Bonnie as he left for college, changing up the toys' owners. In Toy Story 4, Woody leaves the group to be on his own, a major change to the status quo. But in this movie, there is no major change, which I'm not saying there has to be. It's just that they sort of set the precedent with it, so the ending is less impactful when comparing it to them. I can truly say that I felt nothing at all while watching this movie, which is not how I normally feel after watching a Toy Story movie. I usually have some feelings or emotions during the earlier movies, but for this one, I was just dead inside. Not even angry or disappointed like how I was for the fourth movie. With at the time I was upset with them reviving a well-loved franchise for money and having nothing all too special to say during the movie. Toy Story 5, if I had to describe what I was feeling, it would be just bored, which is quite possibly the worst reaction that you want your audience leaving with, as they're just gonna forget about it 5 minutes after walking away from the theater. What I did enjoy about Toy Story 5 is its animation and the relatively cute ending. It's a given that these Pixar movies are going to look gorgeous, but I still think that the fourth film looks the best. Toy Story 4 at least had a fun location that allowed for a fun scenery. I did somewhat like the message at the end. You'll find your true friends by being yourself, even if it is very cliche. It was very nice seeing them both play together at the end, but that's about all I enjoyed from the movie. Side note, since watching all of these movies, I was thinking, could you imagine if these toys were full of evil and not love? Like, they could probably ruin all of humanity, especially if we didn't know that toys were alive and that they kept it a secret. Like, these little guys can sneak into the White House and work as a team to get the nuke launch codes and activate them, wiping out all of humanity and just leaving toys to inherit the Earth. More so with this movie, as we see that even technology has a mind of its own. With Lily, she can send texts on her own and control all of her software. Imagine how much harm she could do, being able to hack into anything pretty much. That would be quite a plot for a movie that I'd go watch. Call it something like The Untouched Toys. Toy Story 5 is a bland, forgettable film that adds nothing to the Toy Story universe. But at the end of the day, it's just a kid's movie, right? The kids in my showing were clapping like they just finished watching The Godfather. But for me, I give Toy Story 5 a 4 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think about the movie in the comments below, and remember that opinions differ. So if you enjoyed it, I'm glad that you were able to see something in it that I didn't. If you want to see my ranking of all the Toy Story movies, click here as I go through and review each Toy Story movie leading up to this one. You won't believe what I put in first. Thanks for watching, peace out, and have fun.